This poor guy loses $1.8 million, whilst another rich guy spends $24 million on Bitcoin. We're going to be talking about that and more in today's episode. Hi, everyone. My name is DaVinci Jeremy. I'm in the Pipe 5x5, staying alive here in Dubai. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're enjoying the day. I know that, you know what, every day that we are above ground and we're watching this amazing technologies that we build, whether it's AI or Bitcoin and so much more, right? It's going to be an enjoyable life for all of us in the future as we continue to progress. Especially since, you know, we have a fair and honest money called Bitcoin that allows us to do a lot of things, right? It allows us to save our wealth for the future and knowing that we'll have more than how much we have today. So that's the beautiful thing about Bitcoin. I hope you that's the if you take that away from the one thing that Bitcoin provides, that's the one thing it does provide for you, is allowing you to save for your future. It's not going to go away. This technology is not going to be stopped. Nothing's going to stop it. So make sure that you're a part of it. And if you're interested in buying some, make sure you head over to bybit.davincij15.com or okx.davincij15.com. Links are in the description below. Okay. You know, there's a lot of scams out there, right? And I want all you guys to avoid the scams. If there's scams, you could tell the scams in the comment section. I know somebody puts in some sort of AT400 something, whatever nonsense, and they tell you to go check that out. Obviously, that's a scam. It's you can see it over and over again, and I'm like, who's going to fall for this, right? But it's so easy to fall for scams. Even my brother, even my own little brother, fell for a scammer pretending to be me. So, just avoid going to, listening to somebody else that texts you on the internet out of a sudden and telling you telling you to invest somewhere. That's not happening. If it's me that's telling you to invest somewhere and I'm texting you, that's not me. Right? I'm directly texting you. Try to keep that in mind. Okay, so with that said, let's make this thing bigger. A man loses 1.8 million in a crypto scam after responding to a Tinder message. Okay, so whether you're male or female, right? Doesn't matter. Do not take the investment advice from somebody from Tinder. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I have to laugh at that. I know it seems obvious, but just in case. Right. The story goes, right. A financial consultant in Hong Kong was scammed out of 14 million HK dollars. That's 1.8 million US dollars in 5 weeks. It turned out that the 55-year-old man fell for a victim of a romance scam after responding to a message on Tinder. Yes, the swindler impersonated a female investment broker from Singapore, duped him of the amount by convincing him to invest in cryptocurrency, South China Morning Post reported. After initial conversation on Tinder, the man continued to communicate with the impersonator through WhatsApp, developing an online relationship. During their digital courtship, the man was convinced to invest through bogus trading websites and the promise of high returns. Okay, so if anybody promises you high returns, run. Um, I was interested in this investment project, right? I was looking at it and I was like seriously considering it when the person said, "Oh, it's going to be $1 trillion investment," and then I was like, "Done." You don't say that. You never. If somebody starts to say that, that means there's something wrong there. They're desperate for investment, and they're trying to inflate the value of their investment when these things take a long time and you just don't become a $10 trillion company even in 10 years. So this was absolute ridiculous statement, right? And so you avoid that. If somebody gives you high returns, I was at a party, and somebody said, you know, they said that they're doing high returns, and I'm sorry, I'm not interested. Once you say stuff like that, right? Um, you are maybe you can do it, and that's good for you. You should just say, hey, this is what I'm doing. I'm making my own high returns, and not bother like trying to sell somebody on that, right? Just because, hey, with high returns, if you're making that much, you don't need to you don't need to convince somebody else to invest with you, if you're making high returns, right? You can just live off those high returns and do well forever. So why are you trying to sell somebody else to invest in these high returns, right? It's just ridiculous. So avoid that, right? And I know you feel like, oh my God, well, what if they are making this high returns and I'm missing out? Well, you know what? Just miss out, okay? Because there's there's a higher probability that it's a fraud than it not being a fraud. So you're just gonna have to accept it. Now, there are certain cases, of course, if you're very knowledgeable, then fine. Okay, as a part of investment, he transferred 14 million HK dollars, right, to nine designated bank accounts over 22 transactions between March 6th and 23rd. He reported. Now, if you transferred to a bank account, I'm pretty sure that they could reverse that if it's deemed as fraud, and then the accounts get frozen and stuff like that. So I'm not sure if he's going to get the money back or not, but he should. Because the banking system can do reversals on transactions. Very, very easy. So it'd be interesting to know if that's the case, if they did reverse it, because they can do that. They can reverse transactions once it's deemed as a fraud by the authorities. So yeah, it'd be interesting to know that. But yeah, so be careful. If you're a fraudster, just know that they can just go, whoops, nope, and freeze your accounts, and depending on who it is, right? That kind of person is they're not going to have banking, right? Because that's how the banking system works. Okay, interesting that Bitcoin spot to derivatives trading ratio slides to a 11-month low. So they're saying the ratio is down to 0.117. That's like a 1 to 10 ratio, meaning that for every $1 that goes into buying Bitcoin, right? Almost $10, right? Maybe closer to 9. Almost $10 is going into basically trading on derivatives, meaning that you're not trading the actual Bitcoin value. You're just trading paper promises to give you Bitcoin. so interesting, right? You're not winning Bitcoin. You're winning dollars in a sense with the derivatives market. At least most of them, the derivatives market. So you're trying to bet on the price of an asset that only $1 of the $10 that you put in is going in. Now, keep in mind, as if you put $10 into a derivatives market, none of that has anything to do to affect the price. Zero. Zero. So you're like, well, what do you mean it does? No, it doesn't affect the price. Doesn't somebody else have to buy it? Yes, somebody else on the spot market has to buy it. And so maybe the person you're trading against, they will move the price by selling selling Bitcoin that they have, or buying Bitcoin with the cash that they have, right? In order to manipulate the price in the direction that will make you lose your bet, because your derivatives bet is just a bet, and that the price is going to go one way or the other. And since there's no volume on the spot, they can move the spot price a lot easier, wiping you out on derivatives. So keep that in mind. So that's very danger zone, basically, for basically just derivatives traders. So keep that in mind if you are doing derivatives trades, which you can do on bybit.davincij15.com or okx.davincij15.com. Links are in the description and in the pinned comment if you want to sign up and just buy on spot, which, hey, that's what most of us should do. Just buy spot and hold. Speaking about somebody buying this on the spot and holding, that's Michael Saylor of Microstrategy adds to his Bitcoin trove, purchasing 1,045 coins for $24 million. I know you're like, damn, I'd like to get some of that, but all I can get is like $24 Bitcoin. And you're like, what's that gonna do? Trust me, you know what? A little bit of Bitcoin, right, will go a long way in the future. You're going to be wishing you spent $24 on Bitcoin in the future because the small amount you get will be worth an extreme amount of money. Bitcoin can do 100x from here in the next 10 years. So you might as well put in $24 this week and another $24 next week. And yeah, that's going to add up very, very fast. So yeah, you could say, well, wait a second, that's only 100x. That's only $2,400. Yes, but if you do that every week, you see where we're going here, right? Alrighty, so this guy, you know, he's got 4 billion in Bitcoin already with his 140 Bitcoin, 140 billion dollar investment holdings, and yeah, it's he keeps growing it because he knows where this is going. He understands that Bitcoin will be the money, just like I do. We have a clarity of mind, both of us. Both Michael Saylor and I have a clarity of mind on this. There is no future where Bitcoin is not money. I'm going to repeat that again. There is no future where Bitcoin is not the money unless we're all dead. Right? So that's just the way it is, right? So you could either bet on the fact that we're all going to die and not buy Bitcoin. That's a really bad bet. Or bet on the fact that, you know, Bitcoin's going to be money and you're going to be super rich. You choose the bet, and I hope you make it at bybit.davincij15.com or okx.davincij15.com. Links are in the description and in the pinned comment. Okay, so let's head over to Bitcoin and do some chart analysis. This was horrible. Bitcoin broke out of its of the range that I had designated here, and it was like, yes, we're gonna go higher, and nope, back inside the this basically this pennant, right? And you can see that we're coming close to decision point and bouncing still off of this rising trend line that I've had here for a while. And yes, it's just been very painful. And you're like, okay, so which direction is this going to go? Shouldn't this break higher, right? Yes, it should. Doesn't mean it will. You can see that if you were to reverse this chart, if we were to go to a daily chart, let's see here, get the auto fit, and we put this chart upside down, it's a very bearish chart if it were reversed upside down. So that means this is bullish. So how do you reconcile that? Hey, wait a minute, this thing's not going anywhere. It keeps coming back down, and it could go back further down. Yes, but you know, this is all probability based on probabilities, and the probability is that we should be breaking out higher on Bitcoin. You can see that the daily has the Bollinger Bands have tightened here, and if they tighten even more, that's going to line up for a very big move. Now, of course, this particular pennant is coming to an apex, and we'll see some sort of movement either up or down probably this weekend. Let's see what happens. So looking at the weekly chart, we are still in the buy zone. That's amazing how we're in the buy zone for institutional players. just at the top of the buy zone, and above that, it's like it's just swing trades for them, institutional players. We can see once Bitcoin gets above the 30K zone, we can see this thing move as far as 40K very, very fast. So it'd be quite interesting once we get above the $30,000 mark. This red zone that we're currently stuck in. If we get out of here, right, and we break higher, we are moon time. So make sure you have some Bitcoin by heading over to bybit.davincij15.com or okx.davincij15.com. Okay, let's head over to Ethereum. Ethereum has finally broken out of its resistance levels. This resistance level is like, I mean, it goes all the way out here. You can say this green line was also resistance, but this is, I think this one, the one that I'm drawing out here at the 1828 was also a major position on the resistance. Finally, once we broke this red line, that was it. It was off to the races. We're close to the $2,000 mark. Now, the $2,000 mark, a lot of people say, well, it's a big fat round number. We're going to fail and come back down. If we break above it, no, actually, we could head to a target of 2255 is easily. So this is a target that I'm looking for Ethereum. That's going to take a while, but we can definitely hit that in the next month or so, and not break back down, of course, below the lows here, which is the 16. I don't think we'll break through the lows of the 1687 mark before we hit the 2056 level. So that's where I think Ethereum is going to do. You're going to have to, if you're trading this, right? I have an open trade on this. You're going to have to wait for it to give you a nice Wing signal to go higher before you can go ahead and buy that. You can go on the shorter time frame and run that W signal and see how far it goes. That's what I would suggest you do on buying Ethereum right down here. Now you could remember that if it breaks down, right, and if we touched probably around the 1868, that's probably not a good idea, and you might want to walk away from that trade, we could be breaking down further. So that's around the area your stop loss should be. Okay, with that said, right, I hope you learned some today. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. We'll see you guys tomorrow. I hope you enjoyed the episodes I've done in the last few days. I hope you enjoyed the one with Carl. That was so funny. It was hilarious. Oh my gosh. We had a lot of fun recording that. I also did one with Eunice. I hope you enjoyed that as well. We had a lot of fun too. Eunice and I, she's in my personal group. If you want to see more about Eunice, you could join that group by subscribing here at davincij15.com. Also, links are in the description below as well. So, so head over to davincij15.com today and join us as well. Okay, thanks again, everyone, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Cheers.